But I just want to talk about Zimbabwe. And Nkosi here is our regional director in Zimbabwe and their team. It's a hard situation to put in a small time, but the crux of it is 1980, Zimbabwe had the strongest economy in all of Africa. You'd have to use $2 US to buy one Zimbabwean dollar. And in that time, for lack of a better way to say it, their leader, Robert Mugabe, which would be like their George Washington, led them in an incredible part of the leadership in a war for independence. But imagine if George Washington had never stepped down. And he's 93 and controlled all the power. That's Zimbabwe today. In 2008, their economy melted down. By the time they ended their currency, the inflation rate was 7 quadrillion%. So literally, you pull out $1 and it's worth 10 cents in 11 minutes. And that was in 2008. They scrapped their currency, they use US dollars now. But it's been a slow meltdown. But right now they're in a tailspin. There's 95% unemployment. 95%. And I just read an article a few days ago that this was the best economy in Africa. Officially, it's the poorest country in the world now. You take the cumulative wealth, you divide it by the population, it's the poorest country in the world. In the middle of that, last year ministry doubled in Zimbabwe. And, but 58 leaders have left the country because there are no jobs. The government has stopped allowing any imports to come in because they have no foreign exchange, and they're forcing everybody to buy local, which drives the inflation up. So you have people with no jobs, cost of everything going up. The banks have no money. Our camps, we don't have a Sharptop. We can't do an internal transfer to pay for camps. We have to pay for cash for things. There's no cash. There was a camp 2 weeks ago, and Nkosi and 3 other people had to wait in line for 5 or 6 hours a day, 4 of them, for 5 straight days to get out the maximum of $150 a person. You can't take out more. And if the money runs out, which it usually does by about 10 in the morning, then you have to wait for the next day. But that's what they had to do to get the money to pay for the buses. So they're waiting in lines, leaders are leaving, costs are going up, and we want to help them. And a staff associate in Zimbabwe makes $150 a month. Area director, $300 a month. And they're supporting, imagine with 95% unemployment, they're supporting not just their families, but their families, and leaders. And I love this. In a month ago, well, about 3 weeks ago, in April, I get this email that Nkosi passed me on from one of their leaders, because we've begun wildlife in the poorest area. These are villages. They're like National Geographic type village area. And the wildlife, picture the wildlife camp, none of the kids had shoes. So the Young Life Leaders leadership team, they all got together. This is in the middle of 95% unemployment. And they said, we want to get shoes for these kids. So they started their own drive, they're calling 1,000 Souls. And they're going around to churches or whatever, and they're trying to collect 1,000 pairs of shoes to give to wildlife kids that don't have shoes in the rain season. Now, I have no idea how they're going to work out sizes, but I'm assuming that won't matter. But that's what they're doing in the middle of this. And you all, we have some key leaders that have no jobs that we want to have on staff. but that was a longer plan, but we might lose them.
I heard about this a couple days ago. I think I was with Newt, and we began to talk about it, and many of us said, of course, well not me, but some other folks was like, of course we can call some donors, and they'd write a $40,000 check, because that's what the need is. And I said to Newt immediately, don't rob me of this. Please, I know we can do that. I know we can make some phone calls, but don't rob our staff the opportunity to be involved. Lexi said it last night, together. It's one thing to talk about being together, it's another thing to rise up and be together. And I go, it's $40,000. I believe we can make that happen. And so even from our meeting this morning, we began to say, wouldn't this be wonderful if this is something we did as global leaders every year? We don't know what the situation is going to be next year. We don't know what the situation is going to be the year after that. But we know what the situation is right now in Zimbabwe. And so here's what you can do. If you have surpluses in your area, you can do internal transfer. If you have, you want to call your wives, you want to do something personally, you're welcome to do that. And even if you don't have anything, if you just want to write down, I will be praying and caring. But we're in this together. Do what we're supposed to do. This ain't no pitch. Get the card. Let's show our brothers and sisters in Zimbabwe how much we love them. We're staff. And we asked for $40,000. He said back here at 10:45. That's 10:44 now. So 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock. Thank y'all. Thank you for letting God use you. I will never forget this day.